Hello there, you fabulous woman entrepreneur. Do you think about your pricing? Do you think about how you put the numbers together? Do you think about how your clients and customers actually take the decision to work with you when it comes to the numbers? Well, if we haven't met before, my name is Gwyneth and I work with fabulous women entrepreneurs to help them recognize and charge their worth first and foremost. Secondly, to help you package up your expertise so that you are strengthening, growing your brand, getting really clear on your niche so that you become the go-to expert, the person that people look for when they want to work with whatever it is you do in your type of sector. And the third thing is to look at the systems and processes that you have going on in your business, because I never met an entrepreneur who signed up to be an entrepreneur just to be able to work more and more. The majority of people, myself included, we want some freedom. We want to be our own bosses. We want to do the gardening and the traveling at some point, and all those types of things. So systems and processes also something really, really important in your business to make sure that you are not wasting your valuable time on silly little things. Anyway, pricing, psychology, numbers, particularly important as we move towards Black Friday, Small Business Saturday. Then, of course, we've got those festivities, Christmas, all the rest of it coming. There will be big sales in January. There is a lot of buying and selling going on at the moment. But specifically, if you are a woman entrepreneur, if you are on your own, there are a lot of things that you need to take care of when you are selling, when you're having those sales conversations. And I want to share just three of them with you here today. So the first one is that if you're selling anything like your books, as I got my book there, and I remember doing the research on this when I first started writing books. There is a big difference between selling a book for $11.99 and for $12. It's all about perception. Get rid of that one digit and you could find yourself selling a lot more than if you've got a rounded number. Now, this applies to low ticket items. I'm not talking about selling something for $3,999 or euros or pounds or whatever. I'm talking about small items. And I want to put this little bit into context, because you know already, don't you, that when somebody takes a decision to buy from you, it is an emotional decision and it depends on so much more than just your price. It depends on the context as well. I don't know if you know this story. I talk about it on a fairly frequent basis because I think it's just absolutely brilliant. It demonstrates how important it is to understand that regardless of what we talk about, numbers $11.99 or $12, this isn't about unethical selling. This is about connecting emotionally with the person who's the right client or customer for you. Anyway, back to the story. Joshua Bell, a Grammy award winning violinist, very famous, who plays, if ever you've been to see him, his tickets, his cheap tickets start at $100. We are talking world class here. And along with some others, he did an experiment back in 2007 where he went into an underground station in Washington. He was just dressed had a cap and t-shirt and jeans, put his cap on the ground. He was stood next to a trash can or rubbish bin, depending on which part of the world you're in. And nobody took any notice. He got very, very little change, even though he was playing beautifully as he would if he were playing for a concert somewhere. No response. Then in 2014, they did this experiment again. And this time, he put on a shirt. He took along a bunch of musicians, around 9 or 10 musicians with him. He went to Union Station, and lots of people stopped, and they got some good change for the music they were playing. Context, the area that they were playing in, and perception about what they were actually wearing. They looked a lot smarter. I mean, people still don't recognize him and probably wouldn't have given him $100 for a ticket to one of his concerts, but it is a lot about that. And what I'm trying to tell you here is that it is about referencing what we already believe to be good value, what we already know about how much we should be paying or should not be paying, And so when you do see that book for $11.99 or $12, depending on your client's mindset, money stories, and all the rest of it, that $11.99, like I said, could just make all the difference. The context, the perception, the emotion that goes with that could just get you the sale versus not getting you the sale, right? And if you haven't written a book yet, maybe 2021 is going to be the year. Or anyway, number 2, let's move on. This is my favorite one. Language. Big language. Now, whenever you write a sales page, maybe you've got a funnel, maybe you write emails to people about, what it is that you're promoting, what you're offering. And from a coaching perspective, we do talk about huge transformation, huge changes. Are you willing to take ownership of your life? They're big, big statements. But when it actually comes to using language close to a graphic that demonstrates what it is, maybe you've got videos, books, online courses and things that you've got in a bundle, so you've got a graphic there, or maybe you've got a sign up now, register now, change your life now button, that kind of thing. Really, really important. Use small language. Follow these easy steps to sign up. Use this straightforward process. In next to no time, you're going to be etc., etc. Really, really important. Simply because if you use huge, big, enormous, transformational, amazing language next to a graphic of what it is you have, or next to that button that says add to cart or work with me or whatever it is, you could potentially be putting people off. Like I said, this is not an unethical way of selling, because you cannot make the decision for somebody to work with you or not. It is an emotional decision that they will take based on the emotional connection. Do they like and trust you? Do they want to work with you? But also based on their money stories, their money history, not just what you are offering. I want to be absolutely clear on that. Some people say, but that's tricky, Gwyneth, that's tricking people into working with you. No, it's not. It is impossible for you to take the decision away from somebody else to work with you or not. So no big language when it actually comes to, putting that button there to help somebody sign up. Okay, and number 3, if you've got high ticket packages, if you've had a sales call and you say to them then, would you like me to share your options with you? And they say yes. The first thing you need to understand is always go high to low. Very important as well if you're writing an email. High to low. If you start off low, the higher you get, the more that person is going to be thinking, oh no, don't want this. No, I'm just going to go for the, the low stuff. That's where I am. Whereas if you start high, the perception of the quality of what you're offering is going to be higher. If you start too low, perception around the quality of your services is going to stay low, and you'll have a very hard time of encouraging the person you're speaking to actually come up with you. Now, I have found, particularly when it comes to writing emails, because in my previous incarnation, a lot of people didn't want to get on a call. They just wanted to have an email. And this is something I always did. I always had the full coaching program at the top. And then the second option was a group program. And then the third option was videos with a book, do it yourself. And the majority of people that I actually wrote to, they went for the full coaching thing because they wanted the one-to-one support. So don't be tempted to want to appear as though you've got a great offer and offer the lowest thing first, because the way our brains work when it comes to perception about the quality of what it is you are offering, you could be on a losing streak if you start off low. They will very easily then think, well, they haven't actually got much to offer, otherwise why do they have such low prices? But again, it has a lot to do with this referencing that your client or customer is doing. And you don't know that. You don't know what they believe is expensive. You don't know what they believe is great value. You only know what you believe is great value, that whatever it is that you are offering to them. Now, if they then come to the option where, it is your big ticket option, and they want to talk about that in a bit more detail, then it can be very useful to say something along the lines of, and you can get started with this package for just $399 or $499 today. Because by giving somebody an easy payment option, you are helping them to take that decision. Believe me, there is so much guilt when it comes to investing in ourselves, doing something that, I should be buying presents for all my family over Christmas, or I don't, there is a lot of guilt. I'm not going to go into that because I don't like this guilt stuff, because I want to help you feel good about being you. So when you do have a big ticket item, do start off with, don't reiterate or don't repeat the full price. You can say, so I mentioned that to you. You could actually get started with that today for just, and give them the installment option. Okay, make it easy for people to work with you. And I want to reinforce the fact this is not about unethical selling, because you cannot take the decision from another person to work with you. They might just say, got to go off and think about it. There's all sorts of stuff that they might say, and that's absolutely fine. No pressure whatsoever. So those are the three things. First of all, get rid of a digit. If you're offering books or smaller items, maybe even an online course, get rid of a digit. Not $11.99, not $17, I beg your pardon, not $12, not $18, $11.99 or $17.99. That one digit can make a huge amount of difference to the number of sales that you're making. Number two, when you have got big ticket items and you've got visuals, be very, very careful not to use huge, transformational, amazing language right next to where you're asking people to sign up, because you could potentially scare them off. They might think, oh no, this is just too big for me. And number three, give people options. Okay, give them options. Start high, go down low. And if you are talking just about one thing, if you're talking about one high-end package, start off by saying, you could start working with me today for just, and give them an option, a payment plan, an easy payment plan, an easy way, a straightforward way of them starting to work with you today. So those are my 3 tips on the psychology of numbers. And if you'd like to know more, I would love to invite you to come over to my Facebook group. I have put a link in the comments that will take you there very easily. There are just 3 short questions for you to answer, and when they've been answered, you will be in. In between times, stay safe, stay healthy, stay fabulous. Loads of love, and bye for now.